So back when the PlayStation 1 was current generation, the thing that made it so popular was the craze for playing backup games or pirate games on it. And there was two ways really you could do that. You could get your console chipped with an internal mod chip, or you could buy one of these, what's known as a cheats cartridge. So these plug into the parallel port at the back of the PlayStation, so they only really work with the earlier versions of the PlayStation 1, and they were sold en masse and they were marketed as a cheats cartridge, so they all have the ability to run cheats on your PlayStation 1 games. But the main reason someone would have bought one of these is to play copy games. This one is a cheap generic knockoff. As you can see, it just says Smart Cartridge, and it simply plugs into the parallel port on the back of the PlayStation. There's a switch on the side here which just turns it on and off. So with the switch up, it is active, and if you just want to leave it there but not use it, you flip the switch down and it turns the whole cartridge off. This one is a action replay by Daytale Pro Action Replay, and it's exactly the same as this one, but this one actually has like a parallel port or interface on the back of it. So you must have been able to plug this into your computer and possibly update the firmware and stuff on it. I've never used this port on the back of this, so I really don't know what it's for, but that's my guess. It is to plug it into your computer and either maybe add new cheats to it or update the firmware. So I'll show you these things in action here. When you bought one of these, you would have got one of these springs with it, which has a point on one end here and then just a loop at the other end. And what you actually do with this is you put it in your PlayStation here. When you close the door on the PlayStation, this rod here pushes a button down which tells the PlayStation that the door is closed. So you would put your spring in here and put it over the post there, so that holds the button down all the time, which means you can leave the lid open. The PlayStation actually thinks that the door is closed. So this is the parallel port on the back of the PlayStation here. Usually has a little door on it. It's actually missing from this PlayStation. So it doesn't really matter which one of these we use, they're both pretty much the same. I'll opt for the action replay here. So it just slots into the parallel port on the back here, and that's pretty much it. You have your spring in the door here to keep the button pressed down so it thinks that the lid is closed all the time, and that's just ready to play a backup game or an import game. On an original PlayStation 1 game, bought retail version, the PlayStation can tell that it's a real disc by what's known as a wobble. So they put like a boot section on the disc at the starting point, and it's like basically like a bad burn, but it's a pattern type wobble in the burn, and that's how the PlayStation can tell that it's an original disc. So when you try to play a copied game, that wobble isn't there and the PlayStation won't boot the game. So what the Smart Cartridge does is it allows you to put in your original game, it reads that wobble, and then it stops the disc from spinning and allows you to then put in your copied game. So the wobble is already loaded into the PlayStation, so you can then continue loading your copied game, which the PlayStation thinks is the same disc because you haven't opened the door, because PlayStation still think it's closed because the spring is in place. So that's basically the principle behind it. So you put in your original PlayStation game and you hit the on button, and the disc will spin. It reads that wobble and then it stops, and yet then you can take out your disc and put in your backup copy, which I will do now. So I have a burned copy of Diablo here. On the screen you will see a menu. This is from the Action Replay cartridge itself. So we have a bit of a bad translation here. The first one is starting games, which you basically what you pick when you want to just play a backup or an import. If you go down to cheat games starting, you can then put in cheats for that specific game. You can manually put in a cheat code that you've maybe got from a magazine or something. You can manage your memory cards. There's a video graphics display and a video or music player. I've yet to actually try them out on this card. So with your backup in, we've loaded the wobble, we've put in our backup, everything's ready to go. So we hit circle to select or start the game. So we're on starting games. Press circle and the disc starts spinning. Now the laser in this PlayStation 1 is a bit tired. This is an old, obviously 20-year-old PlayStation now, so it does have problems reading discs. I've a lot of backup games here and it's extremely picky about what it will read. I do have a few chipped PlayStations, one of which will basically play anything I throw at it. But this one, yeah, it's the only original grey one that I have that doesn't have a chip in it. So it's the only one I can demonstrate these cartridges with. So it takes a wee while to load, and the video sequences on it are a bit jumpy and skippy. But really that's just down to the laser. It's nothing to do with the cartridge itself. So it's loading away there. It may take a while. It may not load at all. So hopefully it'll load first go here. Save me have to messing about. Still spinning away there. And there it goes, I think. Yep. So, like I said, it takes a wee while to load here, but it's just down to this tired laser in this thing. I have the black PlayStation that I painted. It's chipped and plays the games fine, and I have another PlayStation over there which is chipped as well. That's the one that will play anything that I throw at it. So that's the one I use the most. So as you can see, my intro sequences are a bit jumpy and skippy here, so we'll try and skip past that before it crashes out. Get their main loading screen, there we go. So yeah, they sold these things by the millions back in the 90s. It was a cheaper alternative to getting your PlayStation chipped, and for the most part worked for most people. Getting your PlayStation chipped was a better option because you could basically just put your game in, turn the thing on, it worked. There was no messing about with menus and stuff. I'll just start the game up here just to show you that it is working. As you can see, I have the other camera pointed at the PlayStation at all times here, just to sort of show that it is the same PlayStation doing everything here, just for the non-believers. But yeah, if you were about in the 90s and you had a PlayStation 1, you're sure to have heard of these things because they were extremely popular. So there we are, that's Diablo loaded up there and working fine from a backup on a non-chipped PlayStation. I can't do this with one hand.
Hello, my friend. Griswold, a man of great action and great courage. I bet he never told you.
So you could also use the same method to play import games. You put in your original PAL game, which is what this is. It's the original PAL game. You allow it to read the wobble. Once the disc stops, you take it out, you put in your import game, and it works exactly the same. I'll give you a look at the cheats menu here on this, just while we're having a look at these. So see what this does. Oh, that's actually booting the game. So that would be once you've selected your cheat codes, you then go to that cheat game starting to actually load the game with the cheats. So it has a whole load of game or cheats already built into it. And then I think there's a manual part where you can actually put in your own code. Yeah, new code there at the bottom. So you can then use that as put in your what have I done? How do we go back? Yeah, you can put in your own cheat codes if you get them from a magazine or whatever. Memory card manager, of no memory cards in this thing at the minute, so we'll not bother with that. We'll have a look at the video graphics display, which doesn't seem to do an awful lot. I seem to be able to move this thing about here. I don't know what that's all about. I'm actually moving that with the controller here. Don't know what that's for. We'll just go back and we'll go to music player. So it's actually reading the disc now. We'll be looking for CD audio tracks, obviously, which there is none on this. See if we can quit. Yep, we can quit back out of that, okay. I'll have a look. What game have I got? It's Command and Conquer Retaliation. Don't know if there's any cheats for that on this. Command and Conquer Red Alert, so I don't have any built-in cheats for this particular game. I'll give you a look at the other cartridge here while we're at it. I will need to put this camera down while I do this. I need both hands. So this is the Smart Cartridge one, the sort of cheaper knockoff version. And it just works exactly the same. The menu's a little bit different. It's a Smart Cartridge version 1. And same idea, you can start your game, you can select your cheats, start the game with cheats, memory card manager, a graphics viewer. I'll have a look at that. It's the same thing. Oh, okay, I don't know what that's all about. You can view some glitched out screens. It's maybe for setting up your display properly or something, I don't know. Okay. I've no idea what that's all about. And CD-ROM, I assume that's the music player again. Yeah, it's just exactly the same. So this one's got the English is a bit better in this one. So see, it's read the wobble from that disc already. So if we put Diablo back in and hit circle, it should load just exactly the same. I'm assuming this one is like they've taken the action replay and changed certain parts of it and made it like a cheaper version of it. So that's the Smart Cartridge one. That's our action replay there. And there it goes, just works exactly the same. You see, this PlayStation is extremely fussy. I had to try half a dozen discs before I find one that would boot successfully, but it's really down to how the discs are burnt and your laser, because all my games work on the other chipped PlayStation, so this one's just a bit fussy, that's all. Back to your skippy starting screens there. See, these games do work, the intro sequences all work perfectly on my other PlayStation, which is over there in the messy corner. So there we go. So that's it, it's just a quick look at these smart cartridges and disc swapping on an unmodified PlayStation 1. Hope you enjoyed watching, guys. As always, thanks for your support, thanks for watching, bye for now, catch you in the next one.